Now the month is September, which means Bewley Autojumble, and I go there regularly, and I always come back with some shopping. And on this occasion I wasn't disappointed. I found lots of bike stuff, which I was very pleased with, including a few obsolete old stock brake cables for the rally calipers. So I was very pleased with that. And some of the guys there, they have quite a few bike parts, because it's a logical and natural progression from 2 wheels to 4. I started out on the bike. It ran in the family. Always been interested in wheeled transport, and then of course as soon as I turned 17 I took my driving test. So I've always had an interest in bikes, old bikes, as any regular viewers of my channel will know. Old bikes and cars. And the most recent project has been the 1935 rally. Now, what we have here, of course, is a bell, an old Lucas bell. A very plain and simple pattern, not chromed, painted black. And this was on one of the pitches in amongst a box full of old cycle bells in various states, but mostly worn out. Many were missing parts, defective and damaged. One of the problems with chrome bells is that the chrome picks up a lot of terrible gouges and scratches where the bike has been leaned against a wall inconsiderately or upended on some tarmac or something. So this caught my eye. I picked it out of the box. I thought, well, that looks fairly complete. It's seen much better days because it's covered in rust. It's without the famous Lucas band fitting. So this must have been a cheaper model. No idea of the date, but it does look to be quite utilitarian, so it could well date from the 1940s. There is very little in the way of embellishments or ornamentation, and it must be an economy model because it's black. It's been painted as opposed to chromed. So the screws, they're complete. As I say, that's what attracted me to it in this box of junk bells. The screws are there, although they're very seized up. I tried it. It does work, but I was unable to elicit any ringing. Oh, you got a bit there, but it's not very healthy. So I took the top off, and I could soon see why. It's completely rusted, and the strikers they're all seized up, totally corroded, but it is complete. So I found some other things on that guy's stand that I wanted to buy, and he just said I could have this, which was very good of him. So the idea is to put it on the 1935 rally, and I thought, well, I could just clean the insides up and spray it with oil. There is some slight wear on the there's a brass part there you might just be able to see on the one of the wheels there, the toothed wheels. There is some slight wear, and very rusty, but it's complete and the spring is intact as well. So this will be restored to working order in no time at all, really. I thought, well, I could just clean the mechanism up and get that working and fit it as it is, because the bike itself is that's also you know, showing signs of its age on the paintwork. But I didn't want a mint bike because I didn't want to restore that because it had so much of its original patina, and you lose that immediately when you strip it down and repaint it, or the transfers go and the red lining on the paintwork, the pinstripes, etc. But this bell is a different matter. I think this is well worthy of restoration, and to that end I'm going to strip all the remaining paint off it, remove all the rust, and I'm going to paint it again, and I think I'll be quite pleased with the result. It's got the Lucas name there, which looks like it's been soldered in. It will have been for the for this part to hold the dome on. So I'll be careful not to damage that, because that is probably quite a soft metal. And the next video I'm going to do is cleaning it up, or after having cleaned it up. I'm going to use Genolite to get the rust off. That's this stuff in liquid form. Expensive, but it does the job. So I'll use that to remove the rust on the small internal parts. Very good stuff. Then it will be given a coat of cure rust. That's the plan. Cure rust for the external parts after I've taken all the corrosion off it and smoothed it down a bit. And then finally it will have probably 2 coats of this. Aldi's own, or is it Lidl or Aldi? Lidl. Very good stuff at the usual bargain prices, but I've used this on some of the car parts and I've been very impressed with it. So the bell will be getting a coat of that, and after that it will be as good as old, because on the 1935 at the moment, I've got a later 1950s bell, chrome, King of the Road, famous hallmark, King of the Road, chrome. I think it's 2.5-inch diameter. Very popular bell. There's this old shiploads of these, and it's got the famous band fitting there I referred to. But that's a 50s bell. And since I've acquired another bike project, which you will have seen, a 3-speed late 50s model, much like this actually, much like the 4-speed. That requires a bell because it came with a modern cheapo one. So this is going to be transferred over. I like to have a bell. I insist on one on all the bikes because you need one nowadays. They're a necessity. So a nice period piece for the old 35 rally. More to come.